Welcome back to the It's Just B.S. podcast. So I wanted to really start doing this because I just have such a passion to share and educate with my fellow agents and other small business owners, but specifically because it's almost like a little diary for me and to just kind of share where I am in my journey in life and in business. So thank you so much for subscribing to this newsletter that you'll be getting every Friday. And I am just grateful that you're here. I hope that you find tons of value. And if you do, please, I'd love for you to share it with a friend. So let's just dive into where I'm at right now. So I have been just feeling like I've been called to do this because I have such a passion right now, or what I'm most excited about right now is Google My Business and like SEO and diving into that whole world. And I love it because it's not necessarily the things that are going to move the needle immediately, but it's more of the long game. It's more of the long play and where and how you can attract leads. And if you're an agent or even just a small business owner, if you take some of the tips and tools and apply it to your industry or business, I feel like it will definitely work and help you grow your business. So I started testing this last year and I ended up with just two leads that generated me $80,000 in commission dollars. And with that though, I initially got those leads because I was planning, they came in because they were looking to sell their home. However, as an agent, I have realized over the years that we're not always going to be at the top or of the totem pole when it comes to the transaction, and we may be later on down the road. And so I was looking for ways to optimize the work, energy, and effort that I had been putting into my business. And I was like, okay, I put my investor cap on, and that's the way I always view real estate now is like, okay, what is the strategy here? Because it's not always going to be, oh, I'm going to list this house or I'm going to work with this client. I may need to refer it out, or I may need to, just do something else with, or maybe I'm just not the right fit, right? So that was the other part of all of this. But then I said, well, here was an opportunity to sell or to wholesale a few properties because they weren't market ready. I mean, the current state of our market right now was just, or last year was just not where homes were flying off the market, right? So I was like, well, these really needed a lot of TLC. And people are looking for off-market deals. I mean, raise your hand if you're an agent and you're getting those text messages about, having off-market properties. So what I did was I ended up wholesaling those two, or working with two sellers. So two sellers, one seller had two homes for sale, or that they wanted to sell that they inherited. And then I had another one that also wanted to inherit, or that inherited a property and they needed to sell that one as well. So that's kind of where all of this stuff came about. And now, even when I get those come list me calls, I look for those opportunities. And on top of that, I look and see, is this something that I would want to buy? If it is, then let me figure out another route or, way for me to move forward with purchasing this property. So I say all that to say is that I used Google My Business. And if you don't have one, definitely get that going and started, because what I have found is that platforms like Zillow and Realtor.com, they own you. They own the information, they own the data. And especially if you're switching brokerages right now, what I have seen is some agents lose all of their past sales because it's not connected with what is true to be shown on, based on, how they're doing, like they're a part of like Dot Loop and stuff like and that now. So it's just like I've seen information being disappeared from platforms like that. So even though I know Google can do the same thing and like take away the information that you input or reviews, it's still a good idea to not be on a platform where you have to pay to play, like Zillow and Realtor.com. Now, if you're an agent like me who's been in the industry for at least a decade or even close to it, you may have built your business with online leads via Zillow and Realtor.com like I had. And because I started off on Teams, and that was how they taught me how to lead gen, and they didn't really teach me other strategies initially, so I had to learn those things along the way. But that was why I was super passionate about cutting that umbilical cord from platforms like Zillow and Realtor.com. And granted, I do not hate them because I actually just got a referral from someone looking for me on Zillow, and because of all my past sales and reviews and things like that, they thought I would be the great fit for a referral that they had. And so by no means I do not hate those platforms. However, I do feel like it's better for you to be at least in control of those platforms. So what better way than Google My Business? So I took the strategy that I learned with posting online, and it has evolved. And then also learning, throughout this process, how to hire someone to manage this part of my business. And the great thing that I did with this was I didn't just do it for my real estate business. If you know, I am also a branding photographer, and that was something that I started doing a couple years ago. And I do that as something that I love, and it's more of my creative piece of who I am and where I get to express that. But I tested it with that business too, to see, is this really something that I can duplicate and replicate? And the answer was yes. So since then, I have gotten leads from also Google for that business as well. So if you haven't started, again, like I said, definitely get out there and start your profile. And then I will provide some links to prompts that you can get for you to use. And when you're ready, let me know. I'd love to, or if you're interested, let me know, reply back to this email and let me know, is this something you'd like me to teach a little bit more on? And yeah, because I can also teach how to hire and train a virtual assistant. I pay two of them $4 an hour. So I have them both working for me for 20 hours a week. That is like nothing in comparison to like me just going to Target and blowing that money every week. So why not invest it into something that can give you huge returns? Whether if it's slow and steady or just creating that visibility for you when people are searching for you online or agents online, why not spend that type of money to train someone? Because we can't do everything, and it is a daily task that needs to be done or at least scheduled out, so you're always staying ahead of schedule. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'm super excited that you're here again, and please share this with a friend if you find this valuable. This is going to be my exclusive podcast. I will be uploading this to YouTube, but I'm not going to be promoting this anywhere else. Only if you're here on the email newsletter, you're going to see this video or know that I'm doing this secret podcast. I just thought it was a fun idea to just be real, raw, and just connect with the people who are here to help just build your business. So that's where I came up with the name It's Just B.S. because it's just business strategies here. So, and then of course, some real life stuff. So some other exciting things that I am getting into 2025 is that me and my husband, we just put in an offer on a huge piece of property here in Jacksonville, and I'm super just on the edge or just waiting because we put in the offer, or I put it in yesterday, but we're looking to create financial freedom and just wealth for our family, not just wealth for us, but just like our kids and their kids. And so, but the thing is, you never know how things will unfold. If, the project will work out the way that we anticipate or what have you, or if we end up selling it later on down the road. But what I'm excited about is just how we're thinking a lot bigger and not focusing anymore like on like smaller projects because we only have 24 hours in a day, right? So why not put that energy and effort into something that's going to be or going to have huge returns and greater just where we can just really put our energy into. So I am so grateful that he can see that vision and bring me along and then share that vision with me, my husband, and we can do something like this together. But we're thinking about doing pad splits. So we know that this concept is similar to kind of like Airbnb style, but it's more of like the affordable housing route, and you're able to rent by the room. So we're going to, and just after talking with the city, we know that we'll be able to do 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms. Like, so that each unit or what have you will have a bedroom and a bathroom attached, and there will be a common living space with a common kitchen for everyone that's sharing that space. So that will be what that's going to be, and I will just update you all I'll update you when I have more details and to see what's going on. A lot of the projects that we got into last year were transitioning from residential into industrial because we know that there's a shortage of industrial homes, or I'm sorry, not even homes, industrial properties available here in Northeast Florida. So we picked, I don't even know how many, I think we did at least 4 or 5 last year. Primarily, most of them were in Jacksonville. We did one in St. Augustine as well. And then we're doing I don't want to say it's our last residential development, but if you've been following me anywhere like on Instagram or anything like that, I shared, me and us like building our duplex in St. Augustine. I really wanted one so bad. So a shout out to my husband because he always just entertains all of my ideas and like really, helps me bring that vision to life. And then from that, we actually started renting it out, short-term rental. I don't manage that property because I've been down that road, and that is really and truly a full-time job and business, and that's not where I am in 2025. So I say all that to say we are building right across the street from that, and we're going to be building 4 3-story townhomes that we're looking to sell. And I mean, who knows, we may end up keeping one or so, but ideally we'd love to sell them. But our rental across the street is going to be great comp, because we had that appraised, I want to say back in January, February for $1.8 million. So, the value is going to be there. And this is going to be on the island in St. Augustine. And it's zoned for nightly rentals. So if you want to also do short-term rentals, definitely that's something to keep in mind. Or if you have a client that's interested in doing that and looking to buy property there, that would be ideal. So just a lot of fun, exciting things. I do want to keep this a little shorter, on the shorter side, because this is the first one. I want you guys to come back. I'm definitely going to always, if you know me to any capacity, I do not hold back and I do not gatekeep. So I hope you come back to listen to next week's Friday podcast, but thank you again for tuning in. I'm just going to leave it there because I can go on and talk about real estate. But let me know, do you have your Google My Business profile set up? Do you need some help or support? What questions do you have? I'd love to answer those questions in these videos. What I've been doing for some of the agents that I have with me or that are working with me at Real Broker are doing audits for them and kind of giving them those tips that are small, actionable. They won't take a ton of time, but if you can outsource them, that would be so amazing for you to scale and grow your business. So thank you for tuning in to It's Just B.S. I'm Yasha, your business bestie. Bye.